So let's upgrade those Fender Standard sealed tuners with a nice set of locking tuners. The only thing you're going to need here is a 10mm socket, and that's it. These are the GraphTech ratio locking tuners, and they have the special gears inside for constant string tension, and you'll also need the InvisoMatch plates in order for them to fit for the Fender Standard model. So with Fender tuners, they have two little posts on the back of the tuner. So you either need to get Fender branded tuners or specialized tuners that say they're made for Fender guitars. These have a plate, an adapter plate, that makes this job a lot easier. Now, the ratio tuners comes with several adapter plates, but they don't come with the Fender ones. So you have to order these separate, but they are $10 and they look really nice compared to the plates that come in the kit. Those don't look all that great. So you can see here the little posts right there. That's what will go into the headstock and secure it there. And then you see those two little holes beside it. That's where the actual tuner is going to fit in there. So you see how off those holes are. But with these plates, it's a perfect fit. You don't have to drill any holes. You don't have to mess with any of that stuff. So let's take a look at these tuners now. These are high-end tuners, okay? I paid, I think it was like $115 for the set of tuners, plus $10 for the adapter kit, and they are really, really nice. This is the adapters. This is what they look like. You see how they're not as nice as the InvisoMatch ones? You know, they're just, you know, stamped plate that you can see that they're just not as good looking. So what you see you have is premium grade tuners here, premium grade locking tuners here, and you see the little dimples there. That's what will fit in the adapter plate, and then those two little dimples right there will fit on the back of the headstock, and it's a awesome fit. So all that looks great. Also, there are the rest of the hardware, and this explains the different gear ratios. And so what it does is it has a little number on the back of the tuner, and that number corresponds with the number on the gear. So you have the numbers 1 through 6. So 1 would be the high E string and 6 would be the low E string. Now here I'm going to attempt to show you what the number looks like. I don't know if it's going to catch it on the camera or not. But right there on the back of that, there's a little number that's printed on there. And it's a little hard to see, but each one of those numbers corresponds to 1 through 6. So you just have to make sure that you got the right number in the right hole and everything is groovy. So now that we've got everything figured out how it's all going to go in, I think now we're going to get these old tuners off and start the install on these things. So in order to get these off, all you have to do is loosen that nut right there. And that's the reason for the 10mm socket. Just a firm grip with the socket will actually loosen these up just fine, because there's nothing that are super cranked on these, you know what I mean? So you don't even need a ratchet, just do it by hand. I mean, be very careful because you don't want to scratch anything up or mar anything up. And so you just pull that nut off and the tuner slides right out. Also, I automatically put the piece of hardware that belongs to that tuner. That way, if you decide you want to use these on something else, you know that that nut was on that tuner. It only takes a few extra seconds to do this, and you know, it's just something that I like to do personally. And so we just pull these all off and get ready to flip it over and start putting them plates on. So as you can see here, these are the back side of the headstock where you can see the little holes that were drilled, and then these little plates just fit right in the little holes right there, and it's a perfect fit. and you can see the holes lined up perfectly. And you can feel a little bit of resistance too, so you got to kind of press them in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just put them all in place just for demonstration purposes, so you can see, you know, you could put them together one at a time, but I'm just kind of trying to get this a little easier to see for video. And so we're going to place them all in their respective slots there. Now you see those two little holes right there on the plate. That's where the tuner gets put into the spot. So it just fits like a little puzzle. It's kind of cool, actually. So I put the washer on all the hardware first. As you can see there, you want to make sure that there's no like angled edge of the washer. On these, they're the same on both sides, so it doesn't really matter. And I get all them ready to go. That way I don't have to mess with things and wrestle around with it. You know, it's just a little bit easier. I just try to do things where it's going to be as simple as possible, because sometimes holding things and moving things around can get tricky. Now, once we got all that set up, all we got to do is take the actual tuner, make sure we got the right number, and put it in the right hole. You can see the number right there. That's the number 1. And so we just put that in there, and you see how nice fit it is. And then we take that bushing with the washer on it, and we hand tighten it. You don't want to cross thread anything. You can feel it when it's going in, that it's not cross threaded and everything's cool. And so you just kind of take your time with it and, you know, put it together. And so we take the number 2 here, and we do the same thing. And, you know, we just do this with all 6 of them. Start the bushing on there by hand. Make sure nothing's cross-threaded, and take your time. Don't get rushy with things. And, yeah, just screw it in. We repeat this process for all 6 of the tuners. And then we'll flip it over and snug it up. So you just got to take that 10mm socket and make sure that it's fit on there flat and nice and even, and just snug it up a little. Don't have to get wild with it. It's something that will, you know, stay into place. I mean, if you want to give it like an 1/8 of a turn or something with the ratchet just to make sure you're good, that's not a problem. But you don't want to crank on it. You don't want to do any of that with these things. You just nice and easy. So once you got it tightened to the spec that you want, you are good to go. Here's what they look like. I think they look super good, man. Super cool. That's the GraphTech ratio tuners. And I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up or a share or a subscribe. I'd love to have you here as a subscriber. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down below, and I will do my best to answer it in a timely fashion. And I appreciate you guys. If you made it this far especially, thank you very, very much. And we got another review coming up next, so I'm excited for this one. Anyway, have a great week, and we will talk to you on the next one. Thank you.